The Game of the Year award goes to Sekiro.
Tonight, Sekiro Shadows Twice also wins Best Action Adventure Game.
Game of the Year winner is Elden Ring.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't.
This almost never happens. 2 Game of the Year awards in just 4 years with 2 original IPs. Some studios are good, others are great, but it's rare, almost unheard of, for a studio to rise and set new industry standards. We are witnessing FromSoft carving out a unique position in the gaming world where they're not just making great games, they're shifting an entire industry. And the harsh truth out of all this is, they're just getting started. To get an idea of the impact FromSoft is having, here is a list of all the Game of the Year winners back in 2003. For simplicity's sake, the winners will be focused on the Game Awards and the Spike's Video Game Awards, 2 of the most recognized platforms for this achievement. As you can see, there are many heavyweight titles, such as Grand Theft Auto, Elder Scrolls, The Witcher 3, and many more that built legacies and dominated for years. Now, out of this whole list, 68.18% of Game of the Year winners are not from original IPs, meaning that nearly 7 out of 10 winners are coming from an established series or a reimagining of a previous title. And the more I start to reflect on these numbers, I realize that the odds are stacked heavily in favor of ongoing series. Developing a game with an existing IP is simply a safer bet. And you got an existing fan base, media momentum on your side, and sequels that can make serious jumps in quality, which is far more manageable than creating a brand new game from scratch. Lastly, there are larger budgets and investments that leads to larger development teams, which only leaves us with about 31.82%. Barely a third of Game of the Year winners that has a new IP. Cracking into this group is not just difficult, it's an impressive achievement. So, why do these new IPs work? It's the way these games are built, not only by design, but their execution and the understanding of the minds behind them.
Then I was really excited, and you can see, he has that same excitement, and this spreads to the team.
There is a rare interview of Fumito Ueda and Hidetaka Miyazaki gathering together to share their insights on game design at the 2019 Reboot Develop Conference. What's especially fascinating is how both of them uniquely center their approach on player experience. Although Ueda and Miyazaki have slightly different approaches towards design, they both agree on one core principle. The story of a video game shouldn't come first. Ueda put it simply, the visuals and the gameplay defines the games. The story comes later, so it can be modified as needed. Miyazaki doubled down and added, the gameplay has to be the soul. And I can't help but feel that this might be one of the core factors that explains Souls games in a nutshell. The focus has always been gameplay first, story second, which would explain why there is little to no direct dialogue, why the world is built through environmental storytelling, and why the entire experience is almost uniquely personal, left open to interpretation to start community discussions. And this sentiment is echoed throughout FromSoft.
単純に面白いものを良くしたい。で、ユーザーの方に楽しんでもらいたい。だからこうしたいんだっていうそのしたいが多分強いんだろうなと。
一つはその達成感という部分。やっぱりダークソウルっていうのはその困難を超えた達成感という部分がその最大のゲームのポイントであると。
ゲームをプレイしている人たちに一番やっぱり感じてほしいのは達成感というところではあるんですけど。
Now things get interesting in their interview when the conversation shifted to video game animation. Ueda insisted that on animation has to be about life. And to quickly paraphrase, he focuses more on the naturalness or beauty to life, trying to create that feeling purely off of trial and error until perfection is found. To my surprise, Miyazaki added a different approach, sharing that it's not a focus on reality, but more a focus on the game itself. It needs to play well, feel good as a game, and I'm willing to sacrifice the feeling of reality in order to achieve that stronger, tighter gameplay. If there is one thing you can really appreciate what FromSoft is doing, is that they continue to push the boundaries title by title, such as their approach towards the combat system in Sekiro.
It's very precise, and in order to teach players this, we need the enemy animations and the attack animations to be very precise. We need them to see what's coming and to learn these movements and then to react accordingly. And so when it comes down to tweaking these attacks, we can't just do it on a parameter level. We have to actually tweak frame by frame the animations and remove frames, add frames here and there to make sure it looks pitch perfect and that the user's going to be able to react to that intuitively.
Now, I believe what makes FromSoft successful is its focus on the gameplay design and experience, which tends to leave a more lasting impression on players compared to putting all their effort into visuals and graphics. That's not to say that they aren't important, they certainly are, but gameplay experience tends to age far better than graphics alone and stands the test of time. Across the industry, a clear gap is starting to show. Many studios are chasing trends built around profit-driven models. More microtransactions, larger open world, cinematic experience, mainstream appeal, and now, Souls-like games. And here is where it gets interesting, because this is a comprehensive market report that provides a forecast of Souls-like genre in the video game market. The main takeaway from this report is that Souls-like game market is projected to reach $3.2 billion by 2033. When you see this kind of growth on a graph, it's almost impossible to ignore and difficult to understand how a game such as this,
No, oh my fucking god. I think I just had a stroke.
or this, could have this type of projection. Right now, approximately 65% of Americans play video games, valuing the video game market at roughly $200 billion. The market for video games as a whole is very promising, and there's a niche for Souls-like that is slowly increasing and continuing to become more appealing towards players. Now, it's no surprise that there are studios that are chasing this wave. We've already seen examples of Nioh or Hollow Knight. Some of the more recent releases include Lies of P, Lords of the Fallen, Kazan the First Berserker, and many more. Both directors of Lords of the Fallen had this interesting take to say about the amount of Souls-like games in the market. Yes, we are worried. It's worrying in the sense that we want to succeed from a business standpoint, but I think players are not at all against having more good games. If we do a good game, people will be super happy. And this perfectly captures the current landscape of Souls-like genre. It's no longer about making a Souls-like game, but rather more important than making a great one. It's safe to say that players aren't settling for copy-paste mechanics. The Souls formula aren't just hack and slash games. They continue to push the boundary of precise combat experience. Difficulty is not scaling enemy stats to be higher, but rather fine-tuning the design and mechanics. And the bar is set pretty high. Because standing at the very top of this genre is a studio that is in a league of its own. Not only do they have 2 Game of the Year titles, but both are original IPs, a rare achievement that only 31.82% of games ever reach. And as Miyazaki has the audacity of sharing, I'm still in the process of making my ideal fantasy RPG.